Hello, this is Linda Vetris Nichols, evolutionaryhealer.com, and I have with me the most amazing woman, Patricia Alston Harris. And Patricia, you are full of a lot of firsts, aren't you?
Yes, I am. And it's an honor to be here with you, Linda. I really do.
It is an honor to have you. So you were the first American Legion post high position, and you were the first woman and first Black woman as well. Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Congratulations. And now you've moved on to, that was for North Carolina and moved on to a national position. Is that correct?
Well, I'm campaigning for a national position for North Carolina right now.
Wonderful. And you were also a combat veteran, and 3 years after you left the military, you found yourself seeing the enemy in your own room, in the house where you grew up, so in a safe place, and grabbed your gun, went outside, and you were still seeing the enemy. And then you heard your 13-year-old daughter's voice, or did you just sort of turn and notice she was there? How did that work?
Oh, that is so funny. When she turned around and she said, Sergeant Harris, what are you doing? And that's when I turned around and looked at her and I said, what are you doing out here? She said, no, what are you doing out here with a gun and pink pajamas? That's when I knew something was wrong.
Yeah, something
With
was up. Your wake up call, where before it was kind of like it's everybody else, and it's irritating because people just aren't cooperating, and that's the truth of it all, is it seems like it's everybody else and it's really you, right?
That's right.
Yep, those hidden wounds. And your daughter at 8, I think she said you're not the same mommy, right?
Said I was the same mommy, that I looked like the same mommy that left, but I was definitely not the same mommy that came back.
Wow. The powerful, powerful words. And at that time, you probably didn't quite know what that meant, right?
I think I did. I just did not want to admit it. I was in trouble long before I had actually admitted it.
Ah, okay. Yeah. Well, then it's so great you got help, and then you got a call. Your husband actually got a call in the middle of the night, and it was from the VA, and they said, you said the wording was very odd. They had found a female veteran. Really, she had just been dropped off, and she was homeless because she had no place to go. And you drove 30 miles to, go check that out and find out what is her story and what is really going on out there. Is that right?
That's right. Absolutely. It was just amazing to me. At 2 o'clock in the morning, here's a telephone call from a guy that was actually part of the maintenance. He was cleaning up, and he said he found a female veteran, there that appeared to be homeless, and they didn't know what to do with her. And it was just unbelievable. And so sadly today they still say the same thing.
It's so amazing. And so you started working with female veterans with children, and you're coming across, the male veterans with children, and doing all you can. You even have a nonprofit. So that's amazing. And today we're going to be talking about unity without uniformity. So tell us more about that. What does that mean to you, Patricia?
Well, we look at the two words, unity. Well, unity without uniformity. Unity to us was, and to me, is the thing that unites us. What make us the same? What is it that we have in common? Uniformity, when everything is in uniform, then it all looks the same.
Mm.
So unity without uniformity is when you can still find that common thread that bond you all together, which in our case would be veterans, you know, service, military, we served in military, or it could be that we served in combat or not, or it could be, you know, the fact that's obvious, you know, we're women, women
Hmm.
veterans. And when it comes down to our brothers, well, we look at the fact that we all serve. And so that unites us. Without uniformity means that we are not within our own uniqueness. You know, we're not the same cut out like a cookie cutter. You know, we all come in different colors, shapes, and sizes. So that's the part, you know, that makes us unique.
Yes, absolutely. And as I'm the wife of a veteran, however, I didn't live the life of the spouse, and but he's under 60% disability, and so I do know that spouse position where you're kind of working with the after effects, and I am a woman and I'm interviewing female veterans, so yes, I love it, and I'm getting um, I'm getting such a heart for female vets, especially in understanding really what they've been through, and these interviews are amazing at pulling that out. So this is great. So thank you again for sharing. We'll move on. Okay, so find the common thread. Tell us a little bit more about that, starting probably with we're all people, right?
Right. That's the one thing about finding that common thread. We are all people. We are part of the human race. That's the one thing that we are. We are humans and we are part of the human race. We may come in different colors, sizes and shapes, but we are all humans and we have the same needs, same basic needs.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone
Yes.
needs shelter, you know, the same basic needs of life.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's that part about we all have something, you know, in common. It
Mm-hmm.
could, you know, it could be when we're talking about our military service and we find that we have so much in common there. Some of us, you know, have served in combat. Some of
Mm-hmm.
us have been in the field and we know what that's like. Some of us, you know, have been married, and those that been like me fortunate to have children too, understand, you know, what it takes, you know, to be a dual couple or a dual parent as well as being that military person. In my case, a sergeant.
Right.
You know, so we
Yep.
take those things that we have in common and we build on that.
Mm-hmm.
We build on that by um, wherever it is we need to meet a person, because you know you meet people right where they are. You find out what that is, and then you start to build on that to build that relationship.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and something I don't think we think about as far as when we think of the word veteran, um, single parenthood. Whether you're married or not, you find yourself in the position of single parenting at one point or another in your either military career or as the spouse of someone in the military. Is that right?
Oh, absolutely, because you know when some of us that are married that have spouses that are not military, they don't put the uniform on every day, but yet and still they are wearing the uniform because they have to carry the family on during the time that we are serving.
All right, so then it's about knowing oneself. And so tell us a little bit more about uh, know thyself. What do you think of when you think of know thyself, Patricia?
Know thyself means taking that hard look at who you really are, and most of the time that is looking in the mirror. That is taking the honest look at yourself. You really have to be in tune that, you know what? this is me, this is what I actually look like, and this is what I've been doing. And
Yep.
you start from there. And then that's when you realize that it is by the grace of God, there goes I, when we look at other people. Because
Mhm.
just because a person is not in the same situation that another woman is or another man is, doesn't mean not, that could not be you, and that was the that was the situation
Mhm. Right. And it's like a
with
walk a mile in my shoes.
absolutely, absolutely. And whenever we had that going on, then that meant that it is a strong possibility that, you know, we're still the same person. I'm still a woman just like you, but then I'm having a different experience where I'm not homeless as the lady in the hospital. That could have been very well, that could have been me.
Right.
And that's when I look at that.
Yes.
By the grace of God, there goes
Right. There's no guarantee that, family is going to be there for you or even exist. People even die. So, right, we can put ourselves in the other person's place, and that really increases our empathy for others, as well as there's a big check in for ourselves. Okay. And then just appreciating who we are, who we really are, right?
that's right.
Very
And
cool.
so when you do that, uh, recognize the God knows I be me too, but it could definitely be me. Then you do appreciate where you are and who you are, and that
Hmm.
says a lot, too, in that person's healing, but yours as well.
Mhm. Absolutely. All right. So, and then make peace with your past. Tell us some more about make peace with your past.
Oh yes, making peace with your past, spending time with yourself, and that's like I said, that's that honest look at what you've been through and what you're going through right now,
Hmm.
and know that you might been at a situation where you cannot change that. You cannot go back and rewrite that, but it is exactly what it is. It's the past.
Hmm. Yes, and
It is,
like the process that we take
and
people through, the CR process, repetitive behavior cellular regression that you've been through, that like it's a release. It releases the past. Isn't that how you would phrase it?
right, and it's going right into opening up that Pandora's box. I've always known that it or felt like it was better for me to go and open up that box rather than to have that box, the lid fly open, and then you have to deal with whatever is coming out of it.
Hmm.
See, when
Yep.
you go in yourself and you unlock it and you open it up, then what you're doing is controlling those things that you're taking out of there.
Yep.
And anything that triggered it, so maybe you went and looked for something, specifically.
Hmm. Yeah, and the process that we take people through, we're not looking for anything specific. We're just allowing whatever was walled off at a very young age for protection. Like, we get to what we call that active block. And so when you were able to get to your active block, it just like unplugged the whole, your all the patterns of your life. And tell us a little bit about that. What's been different for you since you going through the CR?
Well, that was me going into that Pandora's box, and with the process of the cellular regression, you had help pulling those things out
Hmm.
because that's what. go back and look at yourself, and you have to make that peace with your past. You have to look at who makes you you. Why are you doing what you're doing?
Hmm.
We are repeating different things that are habits, and we keep right on doing them. And a lot of times we don't even realize why we're doing them. But that is the whole process of going in and getting that help. That's what it did it for me. And I found out that I had some issues, with people that I just stuffed because one thing that all of us that serve know that we all know that term about sucking it up,
Hmm.
and driving on.
Yep.
And I think I've heard a female Marine say that, hey, I need a straw, to suck it up. I just need a straw. We knew what that was for.
Oh my goodness. Yes, right? Well, go ahead.
It's with WVSS, helping them get down to the root. It is one thing to address your most need that's in crisis because you have to be stabilized. But it is still more important, to move forward and to get that more intense help. And that's the part that we don't do, you know, just like the process that I went through.
Right.
You'll
Yes.
move, be referred to that.
Right.
But to address that immediate need, to provide that stability, that's what we do.
Yep. And we
And it,
definitely do the deeper work.
oh yes, and I'm glad for it because I'm a better person for it.
Mhm. Yeah, you even have more eye contact, and it's just amazing. And people right away notice, like, what did you do? You're different. And, really, it's about getting back to who you really are. And because things happen at such an early age, we don't know who that is, and we get to look in the mirror. We send our clients straight to the mirror sometimes, look in the mirror and see who that person really is. It's a beautiful thing.
Oh yes. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so that's a place where we help others pull things out and make sense of them. So cool. All right, so in summary, it's about finding the common thread, knowing yourself, and finding out who you really are, and making peace with your past. So, what comes up for you when you look at a summary?
Well, when I look it up summing it all up, the biggest thing is to open the door. You got to find the common thread,
Hmm.
and then while you're doing that, you recognize who you are, and then that's when you get to know yourself, and then you also get to appreciate yourself too, because a lot of times we get lost in it. We're women that with issues and we're broken,
Hmm.
and sometimes we don't see what other people can see within us, and that's what we have to learn how to appreciate ourselves, so we will be able to, move forward, and we won't need that straw anymore because now we have room
Room, that's
and
a good one.
by making peace with our past.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. And it's so cool that you've gotten that figured out and you've done your inner work and now you're actually helping homeless veterans, even the ones with children. So I love it. And others can help step up for vets, for women vets especially. And join you in your efforts. So you've provided a donation link. It's actually right in your email. So the email you viewers use to come out to this interview, go back to that email, look below Patricia's picture and bio, and you'll see this link. You can click it and you can donate to help Patricia help those homeless veterans with children. And I know she and I would very much appreciate that. Right, Patricia?
Oh, absolutely. We certainly do need the assistance. 100% of all donations do go into helping women veterans and our brothers that are single parents, particularly the ones that have little girls, you know, as dependents, because we see
Wow.
that increasingly now. We have
Yeah,
fathers that are trying to raise 6-month-old girls, and they are homeless.
it's so
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah. And then there's the whole suicide rate, and then you couple homelessness, you're going to increase your suicide rates. And although the ones with children may have a little bit of an edge because they've got something so specific right in front of their face to live for, but even then there's a point where that's not even taken into consideration at one point when we just get so low. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes,
hmm
ma'am. Okay.
It is sad. But we are we call ourselves the Sisters on the Line. We are accessible 24/7.
Wow.
We have a lot of women that call us after the other agencies have already closed,
Yep.
and on Saturdays when they're not open, and on
Hmm.
Sundays when they're not open, and 2 o'clock in the morning when those phones start to ring, we get telephone calls again, about assistance, or
Hmm.
they just want to vent. And so we're here to listen. We do have certified peer counselors and therapists, on the line, or if they just want to talk to another combat vet, and we'll make the recommendation if if it's something that we definitely can't handle, then we certainly know how to move them forward. And if they're within a reach that we can get to them, then they can look for me to come, or one of the other women veterans, in the group that will come and assist them and just hold their hand and be with them through the process until they're safe and their family is safe.
Wonderful. What a service. That is so awesome. So feel free to go back to the link in the email and click through and make a donation. That would be awesome. Oh, Patricia, it's always such a pleasure to be with you. I know you go out with my husband as his social proof for the CR process, and do such a beautiful job and tell us such beautiful, warm stories. And so, thank you again for this interview, and for allowing the rest of us to see what it is you're doing, and be able to reach out and help you as well.
Oh, thank you so very much, because like I said, we're unique in what we do. You will not find another women veteran service support, organization like ours.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I love it. Thank you for that. All right. Well, bye bye for now, Patricia.
Okay.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.